Have you ever felt it? That unshakable sense that eyes are on you even in an empty room. The quiet hum of awareness that you cannot explain yet cannot ignore. It's not paranoia. It's not imagination. It's the truth finally revealing itself. For 10 years they have been watching you, not just glancing, not just passing curiosity. No, they have studied you, tracked your movements, analyzed your actions, dissected your words, waiting, wondering, and trying to understand. But here's what they don't realize. They thought you were just another person, just another soul passing through life unnoticed. They were wrong, because while they were watching, you were evolving. While they were analyzing, you were transcending. While they were trying to control the narrative of who you are, you were stepping into a power they will never be able to contain. And now they are the ones who cannot escape. They tried to ignore you. They tried to dismiss you. They tried to silence you. But no matter how hard they try, they cannot let go of you. You are not just someone being observed. You are the disruption. You are the force that shakes their foundation. And no matter how much they resist, they will never unsee what has already been revealed. If this resonates with your soul, if you feel this energy coursing through you, let it be known. Type 77 in the comments. This is your confirmation. You were never invisible. You were never insignificant. You were always meant to be seen. The unshakable presence, why they cannot ignore you. They thought you were nothing. They thought you were just another face in the crowd, a fleeting presence, a name to be forgotten. But if that were true, why have they been watching you for 10 years? Why have they studied your every move, dissected your words, replayed your presence in their minds like a melody they can't escape? The truth is, you have never been just another person. You are a force, an energy, an anomaly that disrupts the illusion of control they cling to. You were never meant to blend in. Your very existence challenges their perception of reality. They don't know why you unsettle them, why your presence lingers even in your absence, why they return to you even after they convince themselves they've moved on. But deep down, they know the truth. You are different. You are not like them. Some will try to contain you, categorize you, define you in ways that make sense to their limited understanding. But you cannot be defined. You were never meant to fit within the constructs of their world. The very fact that they cannot let go of you proves that you have already shifted something inside them. They don't watch those who don't matter. They don't fixate on the ordinary. Their silent obsession is proof of your significance. And this is why your presence, this message, this energy must be shared. If you recognize the power you carry, if you understand the magnitude of your existence, then you know that voices like ours must be heard. Support this movement by clicking super thanks. This isn't just a video, it's a mission. Every contribution fuels this message, allowing it to reach those who are still trapped in the illusion, those who are waking up, those who need to remember who they are. This isn't about me. This is about us, the chosen ones, the ones who were meant to rise, to stand firm, to awaken a world that doesn't yet understand what it is becoming. If you feel this truth in your soul, if you are ready to take up your role in this divine unfolding, support this mission now. Your contribution is an affirmation of who you are. The silent influence. You are reshaping their reality. They thought they were watching you. But the truth is, you have been shaping them. Your presence is a mirror, a force they do not understand but cannot ignore. Every glance, every silent observation, every unspoken curiosity is proof that you have already altered something in them. They do not know why they fixate on you, why their thoughts drift back to you, why they search for answers about you. But it is not you they are truly trying to understand, it is themselves. You exist outside of their expectations. You disrupt their carefully constructed sense of control. They believed they were safe in their understanding of the world, yet your presence has made them question everything. The energy you carry is undeniable. Even when they pretend not to notice, their actions betray them. They compare themselves to you. They analyze you. They measure themselves against a standard they cannot define. And the deeper they try to understand you, the more lost they become. Some will be drawn toward you, sensing in your presence something they lack but cannot articulate. Others will resist, pushing against the pull of transformation, clinging to the comfort of who they were before they encountered you. But no one remains unchanged. Once they have felt your presence, once they have been touched by the force of who you are, there is no going back. This is why the battle is never waged in words or actions. It unfolds in the quiet spaces of the mind. In the shifting tides of perception, you do not need to fight for space, you already command it. They may not speak your name, but they carry you with them. They may not admit your influence, but it shapes them nonetheless. You are not a fleeting moment. You are the shift they cannot escape. They may try to convince themselves that you do not matter, but their silence is not proof of your insignificance. It is proof of their struggle. They will erase, delete, discard. But you do not reside in the evidence they seek to destroy. You are in the spaces between their words, the silence that follows their denials, the unrest they carry even in solitude. You were never meant to be understood in the way they wish. You are not a puzzle to be solved. You are an inevitability. And the more they fight it, the deeper they sink into the pull of your presence. Some will rise, steadied by your energy. Others will unravel, unable to withstand the weight of what you represent. But make no mistake, you are not forgotten. You are embedded in the very structure of what they know. You are not just an observer. You are the force that turns their world upside down. The battle of perception. Why they resist what they cannot control. They don't hate you. They don't despise you. They fear you. They fear what you represent, what your presence forces them to confront, what they can no longer deny when they see you. And because fear is something the human mind struggles to process, they mask it as disdain, jealousy, or even mockery. But understand this, their reaction is not about you. It is about them. It is about the war within their own mind. The battle between the version of themselves they have always known and the awakening that you trigger deep inside them. You unsettle them because you stand outside of their understanding, outside of their control, outside of the world they have carefully constructed for themselves. Some will try to erase your presence, pretending you don't exist, acting as though your influence is meaningless. But if that were true, why do they still watch? Why do they still listen? Why do they still track your movements from the shadows, comparing themselves to you in silence, measuring your presence against their own limitations? Because they are not truly resisting you, they are resisting what you make them feel. You expose their fragility, their false sense of security, their illusion of control. You do not break them. They break themselves when they attempt to fight the transformation that you represent. Some will engage in battle with you, not because they want to defeat you, but because they need to prove to themselves that you can be defeated. But you cannot be. You are not something they can conquer. You are not an opponent in a game they can win. You are the shifting ground beneath their feet, the fault line running through their illusions, the storm they cannot predict or prepare for. Let them resist. Let them deny. Let them pretend they are unmoved. Their struggle does not weaken you. It strengthens you. Every attempt to erase you only reinforces your power. Every effort to dismiss you only confirms your significance. They are not fighting against you. They are fighting against the inevitable. And the inevitable always wins. The unseen war, the conflict you never chose, you never asked for this. You never volunteered to be different, to be watched, to be questioned, to be misunderstood. But from the moment you stepped into this world, you were marked, not by them, not by the systems that observe you, but by a higher force. This is not about surveillance. This is about energy. A war is being fought in the unseen realms, and whether you realize it or not, you have been in the center of it all along. The very fabric of reality is shifting, and those who cannot handle the transformation are doing everything they can to resist it. And you, chosen one, are the living embodiment of that change. They are not watching you because you are weak. They are watching you because you are dangerous, not in a destructive way, but in a way that threatens the carefully built structures they rely on. You do not conform. You do not shrink to fit within their expectations. And because of that, you are unpredictable. You are the anomaly in their system. The resistance you face is not just personal. It is spiritual. It is generational. It is the result of a world that has tried to suppress the rise of those who walk in truth, those who hold the light, those who cannot be manipulated or controlled. And yet you are still here, unshaken, unmoved, unstoppable. Some will try to challenge you, thinking they can prove their dominance over you. Others will try to extract your energy, hoping to steal a piece of what makes you powerful, but they will fail. Because what you have cannot be taken, it can only be given. And those who are meant to receive it will come to you, not as thieves, but as seekers. You are not part of their game. You are not a pawn to be studied, analyzed, or controlled. You are the one rewriting the rules. The irrevocable shift. The change has already begun. Whether they acknowledge it or not, whether they admit it or not, you have already changed them. The moment they became aware of you, the moment they fixated on you, the moment they tried to define you, something within them shifted. And that shift cannot be undone. Some will fight it, some will deny it, some will run from it, desperate to hold on to the comfort of their old ways, their familiar illusions. But no one who encounters you will ever remain the same. They thought they were watching you, studying you, dissecting you, but the truth is you were never the subject of their observation. You were the catalyst of their transformation. They will try to tell themselves that nothing has changed. But deep down, in the spaces they don't speak about, they feel it. They feel the unraveling, the quiet dismantling of the illusions they once trusted. Some will return to you, seeking understanding, desperate to piece together the fragments of the reality they can no longer hold together. Others will distance themselves, pretending they were never affected, even as they carry the weight of your presence in their thoughts. But no matter which path they take, the shift has already begun. And you, chosen one, were the one who set it in motion. There is no going back now. The world is changing. The energy is shifting. And you were never meant to be hidden. Those who are ready will recognize you. Those who are willing will walk alongside you. And those who resist, they will find themselves entangled in the very transformation they tried to escape. Because once you have been seen, once you have been felt, once you have been known, you cannot be erased. The time for questioning is over. The time for doubting is over. The time for rising is now. Stepping into your power, the time for hesitation is over. Enough waiting, enough questioning, enough wondering if you are truly who you have always known yourself to be. The signs have been there from the beginning. The way people react to you, the way they are drawn to you or resist you without even understanding why. The way your presence shifts the energy in any room you walk into. You are not like them, and you never were. And that's exactly why they have been watching you, tracking you, trying to categorize you into something they can control. But they never will, because you were not placed here to fit into their world. You were placed here to change it. You were not meant to dim your light so that others could feel comfortable in their illusions. You were not meant to shrink yourself to avoid unsettling those who refuse to awaken. You were meant to rise. There is no more time for hesitation. You are not becoming, you already are. The only thing left for you to do is step fully into the power that has always been yours. No more waiting for permission. No more seeking validation. No more second-guessing yourself. They already see it in you. It's time you see it in yourself. Some will resist you. Some will fear you. Some will try to manipulate you, use your energy for their own benefit. But none of that matters, because no one can take what is divinely given. They can try to imitate it, they can try to steal it, but they will never be able to carry what you were born to hold. So now, chosen one, the question is not whether you are ready. The question is whether you will finally accept what has always been true. The time for questioning is over. The time for doubting is over. The time for rising is now. Your legacy is already written. You were never meant to be forgotten. You were never meant to be just another name, just another soul passing through this world unnoticed. You were meant to leave an imprint so deep that it echoes long after you are gone. This is why they cannot forget you. This is why they cannot let you go. Because your presence does not fade, it transforms. Some will walk forward stronger, forever changed by their encounter with you. Others will fight the change, resist it, run from it. But no one who has truly seen you will ever remain the same. They may never admit it. They may never say your name. They may pretend you never existed. But their actions will tell another story. The way they measure themselves against you, the way their thoughts return to you, the way their reality subtly shifts because of you. You have already done what you were meant to do. The impact has already begun, and there is no stopping it now. So walk boldly in your power. Stop waiting to be understood. Stop waiting to be accepted. Stop waiting to be acknowledged. None of that matters. You are already a force that cannot be ignored. If you feel this truth in your soul, if you know that this message was meant for you, type 77 in the comments. This is your confirmation. And remember, they never watched you because you were weak. They watched you because you were a threat to everything they thought they knew. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them resist. None of it changes the truth. You are already shifting the world simply by existing. Now rise.